Fort Solis is a third-person sci-fi thriller set on the Solace planet of Mars at an isolated mining post. It follows Jack Leary, a senior engineer who is reporting to an unusual alarm call at the remote facility Fort Solis. He believes this may be a malfunction that requires fixing. His companion Jessica Appleton, however, is weary of the distress call and warns Jack. Jack arrives at the dark and desolate Fort Solis with storms imminent. He heads inside to make desperate contact. As the night grows longer, events escalate, spiral out of control, and the mystery of what happened to the crew begins to reveal itself. The storm is approaching, limiting Jack's escape as he looks to hold out until morning arrives. What this trip to Fort Solis leads to is something neither of them could have imagined.
Jack, your helmet, get out of there now!
Hey! I'm still in here!
You need to get out of there now!
Oxygen levels reduced.
Jack, come in!
Contamination purge accelerating.
Never imagined. The story begins on the planet Mars. The year is 2080, and Jack Leary, senior engineer, and his companion Jessica Appleton are finishing up their shift and looking forward to their return home. Both of them work for Terra Mining Industries, whose goal is to build a brighter future. As Jack and Jessica conversate, Jack is interrupted by an alarm call from a nearby station, Fort Solis. This could be serious, or it could be a false alarm. Jack reaches out to Fort Solis, but no one replies.
Fort Solis, this is Jack Leary, senior engineer, responding to your alarm. Please come in. Jack Leary responding to Fort Solis alarm. You have everything okay over there?
He decides to head over to the station. He lets Jessica know he'll be taking the LTV. Jessica will stay back to finish up her work before the storm that is brewing becomes stronger. Jessica arrives at Fort Solis only to discover that there is a lockdown and he has no access inside. He climbs to the base of Fort Solis in hopes of finding another way inside, which he does through the atrium. He overrides the lock on the door and heads inside. Upon entering Fort Solis, he notices that it is quiet. Empty. It almost feels abandoned. However, this doesn't seem odd to Jack as he explores the ground and drinks a little bit. Jessica talks to him through their comms and advises him to put his helmet back on as it is against protocol. Jack playfully disagrees. After Jack finishes, he sets back out to find anyone at the old space station. He heads into the offices and conference room areas. He finds them, well, empty and abandoned as well. He explores through their computers to see if any valuable information comes out of it. He is able to unlock a door that gives him access to the lower levels of Fort Solis. He makes his way down to continue his search. He finds the rec room. It's also empty. After that, he heads into the living quarters of the crew. Most rooms are locked behind clearance level, but one is open and it seems to belong to Helen Dupart. She is Fort Solis' chief botanist. After exploring her room, Jack hears an audio log where Helen is talking about a project she has been working on that will save lives.
Progress, if you can call it that, has been rising since we introduced the new formula. The results we have now can buy us time to...
2, Helen. That's 2 now.
There's nothing to suggest it has anything to do with Compound 26.
Liar. They have been transporting this stuff for months.
I don't know what to tell you, Wyatt. It has nothing to do with what I'm trying to do here.
I have a duty here. And the work you're doing, it needs looking into.
Well, unless you have clearance, I don't see that happening.
People are getting sick, Helen. They're getting sick. How can you not see that?
Because it's not true.
The result of this project is Compound 26. However, she states in the audio log that Wyatt Taylor continues to intervene with the project and is becoming concerned with him. Taylor is Fort Solis' medical officer. Jack heads even further down the space station to reach the medical bay where he believes Wyatt Taylor could be and maybe he can get some answers. As he tries to enter the med bay, he realizes someone may have tried to block the entrance. He continues to explore and finds a lot of blood on the ground. His concerns grow and he continues his search for Wyatt, as he could be hurt. Jack finds another audio log that explains Wyatt's side of the story.
The situation regarding site exposure is a growing concern. I've spoken with Tout numerous times, increasing safety regulations. Today wasn't good. One of Nick's staff was admitted after suffering from extreme dehydration and fatigue. We had to sedate him. His hands wouldn't stop shaking. And after the patient vomited blood, he was sent to Center Point for further treatment. They'll administer standard care for hematemesis. I strongly recommend it based upon the current situation here at DTPA, but unfortunately at that point it's... Either way, the incident has been reported. Something's going on here. And I need to find out what it is.
He is concerned about the work that Helen and the team are doing because they are at high risk of becoming exposed to illnesses due to Mars' violent climate. He wants safety to be exercised for the entire base to avoid anyone seriously getting hurt. He believes the work that Helen is doing may be dangerous and puts other workers at risk. He has no way of finding out what exactly is going on as he does not have the security clearance. We also find out that Wyatt has a family back home, like many of his colleagues. He, however, is having a hard time not seeing his daughters and is missing them a whole lot. Jack is able to unlock the door that leads to the surgery room. This is where all the blood was coming from. He comes to find the corpse of the security officer at Fort Solis, Oscar Richardson. He now knows something bigger is going on. Jack finds level 2 clearance, allowing him to continue his search for the other members of Fort Solis. He informs Jessica to update Central Command so they are aware of what's going on at Fort Solis and have a team come over to investigate.
It's time we update Central.
I'm on it.
Jack is going to head back to the LTV, but while on his way, he is locked in the medical bay by someone in a hazmat suit. Jack must find a way to safety before he runs out of time as he does not have his helmet on.
Jack, your helmet, get out of there now!
Hey! I'm still in here!
You need to get out of there now!
Oxygen levels reduced.
Jack, come in!
Contamination purge accelerating.
Answer me!
Oxygen levels reduced to 80.
Jack!
Contamination
Come
purge
in!
sequence initiated.
I'm here.
Oxygen levels reducing.
Jack, come in!
Oh, great.
Oxygen levels reduced.
To the maintenance vents underground where he can crawl to safety. He makes it back to the Artyom and puts his helmet back on. Before he can process what happened, he hears multiple bangs from the Artyom entrance. He quickly opens the door and a dead Helen Dupart falls at his feet. She has been stabbed and she was running away from something or someone. Jessica urges Jack through comms to leave and let Central handle the situation when they arrive, but Jack cannot leave knowing there may be others inside. Apparently there were 6 crew members. 2 are dead so far. Jack will try to disable the lockdown to check the security cameras for any survivors and make sure everyone is okay. Jack must make his way through the tunnels to reach the drill bay hangar where he may find a way to disable the lockdown. He finds the drill bay empty as well with a security 3 clearance on the table of Nick Tout, an engineer helping Helen with her project. Nick is also worried about Wyatt Taylor as tensions between the two grow due to Nick overworking and putting his team in danger.
Surface trips are still progressing despite the increased demand from Helen. This cycle it's been a tough one.
Jack uses the clearance 3 card to enter the main hangar. As soon as he enters, he is almost killed by a platform that was let loose. It came straight for Jack. This raises his suspicions. Someone is trying to get rid of him. Throughout this whole time, we come to find out that Jack Leary and Jessica Appleton share a good relationship. They enjoy each other's company, they joke around, and they have a mutual respect and appreciation for each other. Plus, it's been a big help having her on communications as it keeps Jack calm throughout these eerie events.
Guess what I found?
Am I actually supposed to guess?
Well, you remember when we first came up here? Before they started arguing over the territory?
Yeah.
They still have one of those old Earth Force flags.
Earth what?
Well, not that. I think it was called Earth Expedition Force.
It wasn't that either, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, they still have theirs.
And where did you find that?
In a supply room.
Why are you in a supply room?
I miss peanut butter. Took a chance.
Priorities.
Creepy.
I'm guessing a flickering light shadow demon.
Close. I think I'm looking at a face in the wind.
Okay, now I need to know.
Just some drawing I found.
Ah, yes. The scavenger hunt continues.
I know you said this isn't the format for it, but you never answer your phone. I'm in the canteen. I already know the answer to this, but do you want me to bring a beer up to the wreck? I'm grabbing a snack. Let me know. Maybe even record a log back. Wouldn't that be fun?
Jack is able to make it out of the hangar and back to the surface, where he is now looking for the maintenance unit. But upon reaching the surface of Fort Solis, he notices that the storm has gotten much stronger, and it is becoming increasingly difficult to see what is in front of him. As he makes his way through the storm, he finds a container half open. Curiosity gets the best of Jack, and he heads in. Upon setting foot inside, he trips and falls on a dead body.
Jack? What happened? Try to stay calm. Remember our training. Focus and calm.
I found another
Tout.
This being none other than Nick Tout, the drill bay operations manager. That is now 3 members out of 6 that are dead on Fort Solis. Jack informs Jessica that Tout is also dead. He heads to the maintenance unit where he finds a recording from Adam Hoskins, who seems to be the one in command at Fort Solis.
Tensions are high here. Days are getting harder. The site is on course, and we continue to work towards a better tomorrow.
He is also worried about the crew and the projects going on. We find out that he and Wyatt have a decent relationship and most importantly may share the same concerns regarding Helen. But he tries to stay focused and do the work he is assigned, which is work for a better tomorrow, which is Terra Industries' big goal. Jack finally makes it into the generator room where he looks to turn the power back on. He notices, however, that one of the generators has been hacked and powered down, meaning it no longer works and the backup generator has been destroyed. Jessica tells Jack enough is enough. It is time for him to get on the LTV and come back to their station. Jack finally agrees and says okay, but as he stands up, he is attacked from behind by the same person that tried to kill him earlier in the hazmat suit. However, this time we get a look at who it is. It's the medical officer Wyatt Taylor with a sick and angry look in his eyes.
Yeah, okay. It's time to get back.
Who else answered the alarm? How many are with you? Back here. I asked you a question.
Jack! Jack! Jack!
We cut to Jessica. She is on the LTV herself and is on her way to get Jack. She reaches out once more to Command Central and asks for an update on her request for someone to come help. They let her know that a team is on their way but will still take some time to get there. Jessica is frustrated and speeds up to reach Jack.
Hang in there, Jack. I'm on my way.
However, her LTV is overridden. Someone is stopping her from making it to Fort Solis. Determined, she steps out of the LTV and makes her way on foot. The storm, however, has grown even more dangerous, so she must make it there fast. After making it to the entrance of Fort Solis, Jessica looks through Jack's LTV to find a way to open the locked doors that leads inside. She is able to open it, and once she's inside, she is confronted by Wyatt Taylor, who is impersonating the dead Nick Tout.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to scare you. I saw you out in the storm. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, good. Because there is some really weird shit going on here, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Jessica Appleton. And you?
I'm Nick. I run the drills around here, or I did, you know.
Where's your team?
Oh, I mean, they're off-site. We can't drill in these storms. Who are you here with?
No one. I'm responding to an alarm.
Oh, right. Yeah, the alarm. Look at her go!
Jessica is weary of this and makes a run for it as soon as she sees an opening. She locks Wyatt out and buys herself time. As Jessica makes her way to the tunnel in search of Jack, Wyatt talks to her over comms and tells her to go to the greenhouse to find out what's going on. Jessica believes Jack may be there with him. She must head over to the server room to manually override the lockdown. As she makes her way through the server room, she finds the body of Asim Naderi.
Pull yourself together. You can do this.
who was the operations and logistics officer. She panics but remembers her training. She tries to remain calm and bring her breathing under control. She feels shaky, but after pulling herself together, she is able to override the lockdown and leave the server room. Wyatt talks to her again. He is losing patience with Jessica. He says that he is trying to contain something big, something that could contaminate the world. He took it upon himself to stop the work at Fort Solis that was endangering lives. His colleagues were keeping this hidden from him, so he took matters into his own hands. He lets Jessica know that he has allowed this long enough. He will now be coming for her. Jessica makes her way to the canteen room where she finds the body of Adam Hoskins, the man in charge of Fort Solis. He has level 5 clearance, allowing Jessica to explore everything on the space station. It looks like Hoskins was strangled from behind. That is 5 out of 6 crew members dead. The last one is Wyatt, the man responsible for the death of his colleagues. Fort Solis has turned into a graveyard. Jessica must move fast to find Jack. Time is running out. As she continues her search, she finds a recording from Hoskins which says that they have failed. They are doomed and there is no hope for a better tomorrow, implying that something big really is going on. Possibly Earth is dying and the resources from Earth are close to expiring.
The Better Tomorrow project, it's not what we thought it was. That there is no tomorrow. I know that now. We are all damned. The Frontiers project needs to be shut down. I've spoken with Wyatt and we have filed our complaints to Central. I'm sorry, Helen. Forgive us.
Maybe that's what Helen was working on, a way to bring those resources back to life. But could it be too late? Jessica finds 3 chilling recordings of Wyatt before he committed the killings. Here Wyatt talks about his reasoning behind it. He tried to stop Helen in a reasonable way. She wouldn't admit any wrongdoing and he reported it to Central Command. But Wyatt seemed on edge during this recording. He seemed shaky. His hands kept shaking. And he implied that the soil on Mars was causing the radiation sickness to the crew. The soil on Mars was extremely dangerous and it could not be taken back to Earth. Wyatt believed it needed to be contained and the only way to do that was to get rid of the crew. This way he could protect his family and protect those back on Earth.
I confronted Helen today about the situation here. She flat out refuses to admit anything is going on. More of Nick's teams are showing what I believe, based upon my medical experience, to be clearly radiation sickness, but she said that due to the varying symptoms being displayed by each patient, I currently have nothing conclusive to confirm my diagnosis. There is one consistent factor, and that's the hand trigger. That's a sign. I think that's a sign that it's just hiding in plain sight. Yeah, come in. Nights are longer now. I continue to hear noises outside at night, and I know it's not just a storm. Tomorrow I'll confirm it all. I've done everything I can. I've been rational. I've tried to reason. But Helen refuses to acknowledge the damage that she is doing. She even reported me to Central for exceedingly aggressive behavior. Me. Today I can't believe what I saw. It's the soil. It's always been here, literally right under our feet. What has happened here cannot happen on Earth. Can you imagine the consequences? If people were to take this infection back home with them? I mean, Jesus, I almost brought a plague back home for my daughter. I have a moral obligation to contain this and prevent it from spreading. I've reported the incident to Central, and Oscar is on his way over now. He can help me access the greenhouse, because suspended. What does that even mean? I just hope I have the strength to do what needs to be done.
Jessica heads over to the tunnels to get access to the greenhouse. She is on her way to get Jack and finish this once and for all. Wyatt gives her one final warning to stop and to let him contain this before it spreads. She issues a warning to him as well. She will get Jack back. She makes it into the greenhouse where she finds plants, vegetables, and bees. There's lots of research going on at the greenhouse and many test samples for the project Helen had been working on. Through more video recordings, we find out that the time on Earth is running out and the earlier hypothesis was correct. Helen and her team have been working to find a way to sustain life on Mars and grow plants and vegetables to live. Earth must be dying, and this project is its only hope for humanity to survive.
Whilst time runs out for those back home, we are so close to sustaining life here. The work we're doing is bigger than all of us. We are beginning to see aggressive acceleration with Compound 26. It seems to be able to sustain environmental hazards as a result. This development has been fundamental in... Ma'am, Dr. Taylor is here again, requesting to come downstairs. For the last time, he doesn't have clearance. He shouldn't be here.
However, at this point it's too late, and Wyatt began his killings soon after this revelation. Jessica makes her way through the greenhouse and into the elevator to the ground level. She is a bit shaky once again, but tries to remain calm. As she reaches ground level and steps out, she is attacked by Wyatt, who tries to choke her out. Jessica fights back, wounding him with a stab to the arm and to the stomach. Somehow, Wyatt is able to get away and Jessica sees Jack tied up. She goes to help him and set him free before she is interrupted by Wyatt. Jessica tries to reason with him in hopes of everyone going home free.
Jack! Wake up, Jack! Are you okay?
Do you have any idea what I've done? What this has taken from me?
Look, I read Helen's work. You can report this.
Helen's work? You read Helen's work? What about my work? And I did report this to everybody. And you know what they did?
What?
They suspended me. Me, of all people. They came for me. At my facility, and they took everything.
We can walk out of here, tell everyone what we know.
These were my colleagues. They were my friends. They're my family.
You know what it feels like to realize you're never going home again.
We can. We all could.
That's sweet. But your hand's shaking? Yeah. That's the first sign.
And after that, it's not good.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry it's gotta be this way, because you really look like good people. And trust me, I take no joy in any of this.
Wyatt refuses. He says he told everyone at Central Command what was going on and they suspended him. No one listens to him, so no one is allowed to leave. Wyatt attacks Jessica and they get into a scramble. This time though, Wyatt gets the upper hand and wounds Jessica with an axe to the midsection. Wyatt is on the verge of killing her, but Jack somehow gets loose and knocks Wyatt out cold for a little bit.
I'm sorry. You walk.
He grabs Jessica and carries her to the airlock to try to make an escape together. Jack sets her down to get a helmet on for himself and for her, but before he can react, Wyatt has made it to the entrance of the airlock.
Wait here.
I told you chivalry wasn't dead.
Don't you
She sacrificed her life for him. Jack makes his way to the LTVs to leave Fort Solis, but Wyatt is there looking to end things. Jack and Wyatt get into one final fight. Wyatt overcomes Jack, and as he is going for the killing blow, a gunshot is heard.
We do what we must for those we love.
Stand down.
I'm not.
Killing Wyatt. The team that Central Command sent finally arrived. They tried to talk to a wounded Jack, but he does not reply. We cut to black and we hear the voice of Wyatt Taylor in a message to his wife.
Chris, I sent you a package. Do not open it. Okay? Do not open it. Just take it to Tom. Don't tell anyone, but he'll know what to do. There's something I gotta do up here, but, tuck the girls in for me, and, give him a kiss. I love you, Chrissy.
This concludes the story of Fort Solis so far. This game was a cinematic sci-fi gaming thriller. It is $30 and it won't be for everyone, but if you enjoy story-driven games, this is for you. It sure does pack an emotional punch. I didn't think I would like Jessica as much as I did, but she was the standout for me. Among fantastic actors like Roger Clark and Troy Baker, Julia Brown did a tremendous job and I almost choked up at her death. Roger Clark was great as ever, and Troy Baker really made you feel the emotions. The atmosphere in the game is incredible, and I'm glad I was able to play this and bring a video out for you guys. Please let me know what I missed down in the comments below, because the story can get a tad confusing on one playthrough only. Thanks for tuning in, and if you guys enjoyed it, please drop it a like and a subscribe. We are very close to 1,000 subscribers. I'll see you guys in the next video.